Hey, so in January this year, I set myself a goal to save an extra £3,000 during the year. That would mean on average a £250 a month savings target. My plan was to take that money and invest it, and that is still the goal. But since I began that journey, it's become about something so much deeper. It's no longer just a search for finding ways to cut back. It's become a search for a deeper understanding about why we spend money on the things we do and what drives that spending and what forces are leading us into those purchases. So there are two parts to this video. Am I on track for saving that £3,000? And can I uncover the forces making me spend that might say something more about our world and the ways in which we are manipulated and sold to? So number one, water. We spend billions of dollars on bottled water each year, despite the fact that tap water is typically safe to drink and practically free. See, I'm old enough to remember when bottled water first became a thing in the UK, and the skepticism we had when Evian first launched, with some people wryly sniggering that Evian backwards spelled naive, which is what anyone who bought it must be.
Yeah, that's not funny.
Fast forward 10 years and I'm buying bottled water like it's going out of fashion. Well, what happened? Since then, of course, I've had 2 kids, and though we still do drink tap water, buying in bottled water is now a common occurrence. So what's happened? Well, I've been sold to. On some level, I bought into the myth of the super healthy, mineralized purity that can only be found in branded water on the shelves. Filtered, no doubt, through hundreds of meters of nutrient-rich rock. Good for me and good for my kids. Dig a little deeper though, and we find that 45% of bottled water brands are actually derived from, you guessed it, tap water, with often minimal filtration. You could say I've been sold a bottle of water. You could say I've been duped. You might even call me naive. So I switched back to 100% tap water, a few reusable water bottles and some ice, and we as a family now enjoy all the benefits of water without any of the cost. I calculated that on average we were spending around £108 a month on bottled water for the whole family. So that includes a bulk buy once a month, but also bottles from the local store as and when needed. So ditching all of that and moving to tap water effectively cut down that cost to £0 a month. That's a net saving per month of £108. So let's add that to a running total, and we'll come back to that at the end. Number 2, dirt. Now, no one likes dirt, but there's an old English saying, where there's muck, there's brass, which means that where there's dirt, there's money to be made. But dirt is not the way you sell stuff. Instead, you sell the opposite: sparkling cleanliness, hyper-sterilized surfaces that are essential for keeping yourself and, always prominent in the advertising, your children safe and healthy. So what is there to argue about? I mean, I want my kids to be safe from germs and bacteria as much as you do, and I'll happily pay a pretty penny to be sure I'm getting the best for them. But hold on, there's plenty of research that shows that generic or store brand cleaning products are often just as effective as their brand name counterparts. Also, some of the aggressively marketed brands that claim to be the most effective are composed of harsh and dangerous chemicals, but there are well-known and arguably equally effective homegrown solutions like white vinegar or bicarbonate of soda that you can use to clean your house that won't hurt your wallet and won't hurt your children if they get hold of any. And these alternatives can save you a significant amount of money over time. So what's the saving from switching to non-branded cleaning products? Well, we calculated we spent around £60 a month on branded cleaning products. Moving to non-branded gives us about a £36 a month saving. So let's add that to our total. Number 3, coffee. There used to be a time when the question was simply tea or coffee, and that was the only distinction you needed to make your choice. Not now. Now there are not only multiple types of both tea and coffee to choose from, but multiple methods of delivery, especially on the coffee side, which has instant, ground, bagged, and podded. Of all of them, coffee pods have really taken off, with people being sold on the idea of a compact, clean, high-tech, yet glamorous taste experience that is worthy of the highest levels of celebrity endorsement. Hi, George. It's big business, worth over $13 billion in 2020. And we got into this quite late with a Christmas present, just over there, of a coffee pod machine. We went all in on the different flavours and spent a small fortune. I'd say for a while we felt pretty sophisticated and offered all our friends the latest flavours when they popped around to visit.
Coffee is life.
But let's be real, they generate huge amounts of plastic waste that ends up in landfill or the ocean. And by comparison to instant or ground coffee, they cost a fortune. But the power of marketing and advertising is strong. So it's taken us until this year to make the move back to regular coffee. Not only that, but now we bulk buy our coffee and make even more savings. Amount saved? Well, we estimate we were spending around £20 a month on the expensive coffee pods, plus another £40 a month on Starbucks or Costa Coffee at work. Moving to bulk buying ground and instant coffee and using flasks for work, we cut that back to around £10 a month, a net saving per month of £50. Number 4, entertainment. We are the Netflix generation. Streaming services have upended the traditional TV landscape and now account for around 30 to 40% of all TV watched. Brits spend around £620 a year on streaming services. And it's not surprising, ever since TV came into people's homes, it has become a hub for the whole family. Why is TV so popular? Why do we sit in front of a screen flashing moving pictures at us for literally hours on end? Is it because we're watching dreams and lives that we can only aspire to? Is it because we're creatures of gossip and we love to know what's happening in our tribe? Or is it because we're addicted to stories and storytelling as much now as we were hundreds of years ago, sitting around the fire listening to stories of our ancestors? Whatever the reason, there's no denying that TV delivers a potently addictive, souped-up version of ourselves as a species that is inherently addictive. So the seduction is real and powerful, and there's no wonder that we end up spending so much on streaming service. But look at it from another point of view. No great book was ever written while the author was watching TV. No great art was produced, no businesses were created, and no weight was lost. No languages learned, no new skills perfected. No #1 songs were written, and no great footballers were nurtured while an all-powerful TV held everyone's attention. Most of us work during the day, and so the only time we have to develop ourselves is in the evening. Now, this ain't going to happen if we plonk ourselves in front of the box every night and binge watch the latest and greatest shows everyone is talking about. So I say, cut the subscriptions down, or at the very least, limit them in some way. I've moved us down to the cheapest tier of the Netflix membership. And though we still watch some TV, we're not as much in the thrall of the mighty box as we once were. And there's savings to be made too. Moving from Netflix's top tier of £15.99 down to their bottom tier of £6.99 saves us £9 a month. We'll add that to the total. Number 5, fear. So we moved into our current house about 6 years ago, and it's our first family home. And as we welcomed our 2 boys into our family, I stepped up as a dad and I started to insure the pricey things we had newly bought to furnish our nest. The TV, the fridge, the oven, the freezer, all of them. After all, when you've got 2 young boys, accidents will happen and toys will be thrown, and that TV was very expensive. Also, what happens if the fridge dies and all that food goes to waste while we wait on a repair or a renewal? It's fear, isn't it? The insurance industry is not really selling protection against mishap, it's selling fear. Or rather, it's hyping that fear and then selling you the solution. Well, I decided to take a long, hard look and do a little bit of checking. It turns out you don't need insurance for new items that are in warranty, as they are already covered by that warranty. And guess what? Check your home insurance policy and you might find, like I did, that most of your contents are protected against breakage and accidents anyway. So yeah, I cancelled all of these insurances, and in case anything does break and it's not covered, I have a small breakage fund I've been building up around £10 a month to cover me for things like that. So we worked out that we were on the hook for around £70 a month on appliance insurance. Moving to a £10 a month breakage fund saves us £60 a month. But before I reveal if I made my goal of £3,000 a year savings, if you're enjoying this video, then please hit the like button and the subscribe buttons. Also, if you have any thoughts on why we spend the way we do, then please put them in the comments. So I set out on this journey looking to save around £3,000 a year on daily expenses that I could then use to save and invest for my family's future. Where did we end up? Moving to Tapwater gave us £108 a month saving. That's £1,302 a year. Non-branded cleaning products gave us a £36 a month saving, or £440 a year. Moving back to instant and ground coffee and taking a flask of that to work gave us a £50 a month saving. That's £600 a year. Shifting down to Netflix's basic tier saved us £9 a month, which equals £108 a year. Finally, replacing our appliance insurance with a breakage fund gave us a savings of £60 a month, which is £720 a year. And that is, drumroll, a sum total of £3,170 that we can now allocate to our investing for our future. Now look, I don't know where you are in your life and what your situation is. We're all in different phases, but maybe, just maybe, you might take some inspiration from what I've talked about today and take another look at what you're spending your money on and perhaps gain some insights into why you're spending on those things. Let me know. I'd love to hear how you're getting on. But wait, there's one more thing. Watch this video here to supercharge your budget tracking by using the latest and greatest AI-powered tool. Thank you very much. Goodbye.